You are welcome to our ratio class. We want to continue from where we stopped in the last video. We stopped at number 10. We want to continue from number 11 today. Let's move forward. In triangle PQR equals to 90 degrees. That is the angle at the middle. If you see PQR like this, they are referring to the angle at the middle. As I said, it can also be on the angle in question. So if the area is 216 centimeter squared and line PQ, this symbol shows line, PQ ratio PR equals to ratio 3:4. Find PR. So we're going to draw the triangle in such a way that angle Q will be what? 90 degrees. That means the triangle we are referring to is going to be a right angle triangle. Since one of the angles is 90 degrees, it's going to be a right angle triangle. So this is going to be our Q, PQR. PQR. We are told this place is 90. This is the symbol for 90. We don't need to write it. Then the area itself, let's label it inside. This is the area of the triangle. The inward part of a shape is the area. The addition of all the sides will be the perimeter. Why the space inside the shape will be the area. So we have identified our area. We have identified our 90 degree PQR. Then we are told that PQ, this side, is ratio this side. The ratio of this side and this side is going to give us ratio 3:4. So PQ ratio PR equals to ratio 3:4. For them to give us area, we are going to need the base and the height of the triangle. And the base is not given, the height is not given, apart from the ratio of this place. So to solve this problem, we are going to make use of this side and this side first, because these are the ratio given to us. We'll make sure we use this side and this side, and ratio PQ to ratio PR is 3:4. So what do we do at this point? We apply what we know before. Let's call this place Q. Let's call this side Q because it is the opposite of angle Q. And let's call this side R, the opposite of angle R. Let's call this place P, the opposite of angle P. Let's call this place P, the opposite of angle P. Let's call this place Q, the opposite of angle Q. Let's call this place R, the opposite of angle R. So at this point, let's work with our ratio before we talk about the area. We are going to need the height and the base of the triangle to work with the area. And let's make use of the ratio first. So based on what we are given, PQ is now R. So we're going to use R instead of PQ. R ratio PR is now Q. So we write R ratio Q is equal to 3:4. R ratio Q, that is R over Q, equals to 3:4. Let's write it as 3/4. We always see that a ratio is also another form of fraction. So R, this is our R. This is our ratio sign over, and this is our PQ. Our PQ is represented by Q. Our PR is represented by Q. So R over Q equals to 3/4. At this point, what do? We are going to make R subject. We can also make Q subject, but let's just make R subject. Any of them can be our subject, R or Q. Let's make R subject. If we make R subject, we say we first cross multiply, we have 4r equals to 3q. So r will now give us, when we divide both sides by 4, we now have 3q over 4. This is the value of r. Since we are going to need the base of a triangle to make use of this area, we are going to need the base of the triangle. So what do? We are going to try to find an expression for this side, the base of the triangle. And how do we find an expression for that? Let's use Pythagoras theorem. Since we have an expression for r, which is 3q over 4, we need an expression for the base also. The height has been taken care of. We need to take care of the base to be able to find this side, PR, represented by Q. So Pythagoras theorem says what? If we are looking for this side, so we're going to write P square equal to the square of this side, hypotenuse, which is Q squared minus the square of this side, which is R squared. Our R is now 3q over 4. That's our R. The value we have derived from for R using the ratio given to us. So we have this equation. This one is also squared. So P squared equals Q squared minus 3q over 4 squared, using Pythagoras theorem to find expression for our P. So what do we do at this point? We find the value of this to give us P squared equals to Q squared. 3 squared will be 9. Then Q squared will remain Q squared. 4 squared will be 16. So we have this. The next thing is to clear the denominator by multiplying everything by the LCM, which is 16. When we do that, we have 16p squared, 16q squared minus 9q squared. At this point, what we do is to factor out the q out of it. To factor out the q out of it. So let's do, to factor out the q, we're going to have 16p squared, q squared rather, to factor out q squared. We write 16 minus 9. When we do that, we're going to have 16p squared, q squared, 16 minus 9, that will give us 7. So we have 7 here. Let's write times 7. Times 7. So this 16 squared can be expressed as this 16 can be expressed as 4 squared. So let's write it in this way in order to make the two of them be squared. 16 squared is as good as 4, is the same as 4 squared. 16 is the same as 4 squared. So we write 16. So we write 4 squared instead of writing 16. Then we have pq squared times 7. At this point, what do? We take the cube, we take the square root of both sides on this other side. Taking the square root of both sides, it's like taking the square from here to this place to become square root on this side. So we have 4p, then we have this. The square is no longer here, it's now here as a square root. So we now have square q squared times 7. Times 7. So we now have 4p. If you find the square root of this, it will give you q, and We can separate this. We can separate it to be like this. Let's write it this way. Instead of making the square root to be on both of them, let's separate it. This square root will cancel this square. So we are left with q root of 7. Q root of 7. This is what we are left with. Now let's divide both sides by 4. When we divide both sides by 4, we are going to be having this. P equals 9 q root 7 over 4. So we have got a value for P and we have got a value for R. Our value of R is this. This is our value of R for the height of the triangle, and this is our value of P for the base of the triangle. Therefore, we can solve for this side. We want Q. We want to find the value of Q. And I can see Q in this expression for R. I can also see Q in this expression for P. R is our height, the height of the triangle, and P is the base of the triangle. So height times base should be able to give me the area. Half times R times height now times base of the triangle should be able to give me the area of the triangle. So I'm going to write this. This the formula for what now? For a triangle, half times base times height. So we write half. Our base is what we just found, P, and the P is giving us a Q square root of 7 over 4 times the height of the triangle, which is giving us 3Q over 4 equals to the area of the triangle, which is equal to 216. So at this point, what do? We do the needful. We can cross multiply. And if we cross multiply, so we have 2Q here. Q times Q is going to give us Q times 3Q will give us 3Q squared. 3 times 3Q will give us 3Q squared. Then we have root 7 here. Root 7. If we multiply 2, 4, 4, 216 by crossing multiply, we're going to have these values 6912. 6912. Then if we multiply 3 and root 7 together, it's going to give us 3 multiplied by root 7 will give us 7.9373 Q squared. Then we have 6912. When we divide both sides by this value, 7.9373, we're going to have this Q squared equals 870.8251. 8251. Let's find the square root of this. $870.8251. If you find the square root, 870.8251 square root, we're going to have 29.50. 29.51 centimeter. So our PR, from beginning we say PR is the same as Q. So therefore, let's write our statement. Therefore, side PR equals 30 centimeter to the nearest centimeter. We can move to the next one. We are told that the ratio of an interior angle to an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 4:1. Then we should find the number of sides. We should also find value of the exterior angle and sum of the interior angles. So what do we do? The first thing to write the ratio of the two angles, interior angle and exterior angle. Formula for interior angle and interior angle is this: n-2 multiplied by 180 all over n. Sum of the interior angles. The last question is sum of the interior angles. If it is sum of the interior angles, this is the formula we are going to use. Sum of the interior angles without the n as a denominator. But if it is an interior angle, just only one, it might be called an interior angle. It might be called each interior angle. Whichever way it is called, you are referring to a single angle. So if it's a single angle, we will just add n. We'll put n at the formula for sum of all the interior angles. When you put n under it, it will change it from the formula for sum of the interior angles to an interior angle. And this is the ratio. The ratio is to an exterior angle. So ratio, I always say that a ratio is the same as divide. So we now write the formula for each exterior angle, which is 360 over n. 360 is the formula for the sum of exterior angles, while 360 over n is the formula for each exterior angle or an exterior angle. So this is the ratio given to us, and we are told that the ratio is 4:1, equal to 4:1. So an exterior angle, this is the formula, ratio exterior angle is equal to ratio 4:1. So we write it in form of fraction. We write n-2 multiplied by 180 over n. Let's change this one to times. N will go up, 360 will come down. Then we write 4 divided by 1, or 4 over 1. This n will cancel itself. So we have 360 under. 180 will go 1, 180 will go twice. So we are left with n-2 as a denominator. So we have n-2. And we are left with 2 here. n-2 as numerator, then 2 as denominator. Then we now have 4 over 1. What we do here is to cross multiply. So we have n-2 times 1 will give us the same thing. 2 times 4 will give us 8. So 8 plus 2, our n equals to 10. So the first question has been solved under this. So n equals to 10. Having known our n, we can move to the next one. Question 2. Find the value of the exterior angle. It didn't say sum of the exterior angle. They say find the value of the exterior angle. Only one angle. And the formula for one angle is this: 360 over n for exterior angle. So we write number 2. Formula for exterior is 360 over n, and our n is already 10. So we write 360 over 10. So the value of the exterior angle is 36 degrees. So we move to the last one, sum of the interior angles. As I said earlier, that sum of the interior angle formula is this, without the n as a denominator. So we write n minus 2 multiplied by 180. So we apply our value of n. Our value of n is 10. So we put 10 here. 10 minus 2 multiplied by 180. So we have 8 times 180. 8 times 8, that will give us 8 times 0 first, we write 0. 8 times 8, that will give us 64. We write 4, we carry 6. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4. Plus 6 rather. That will give us 14. 8 plus 6, that's 14. So sum of the interior angles is equal to 1,140. That's the end of number 12 question. Let's move to number 13 right now. This question says 4 people, A, Q, R, and S, share a sum of money in the ratio 3,467 respectively. 3,467 respectively. It's missing there, respectively. If S receives 600 more than Q, calculate the amount of money that was received. The amount of money that was received is not known. So we say, let the amount received equal to X. Let the amount received equal to X. So we are told that S received more than Q. S, this guy, received 600 more than Q. Right? S receives 600 more than Q. No. S receives 600 more than Q. That means S is going to be 600 plus Q. S receives 600 more than Q. So it will be Q plus 600. Let's write it that way. Let's write Q plus 600. Because S receives 600 more than Q. So S equals Q plus 600. So what do we do again? Let's find our total ratio. Total ratio, as you can see, is going to be 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7. And total ratio is going to be 20. To find the share of S, this is the formula, ratio of S. Ratio of S will be the last ratio, because S is the last person mentioned, and the last ratio is 7. So the ratio of S is going to be 7. So to find the share of S, we are going to say S equals its own share now, is ratio over total ratio, which is 20, multiplied by what we are sharing. We are sharing X. So X got 7X over 20. So S got 7x over 20. So let's find the value of Q. The share of Q. Q is going to get, what is going to be the ratio of Q? Ratio, Q is the second person mentioned. His ratio will be 4. So I'm going to write 4 over 20 multiplied by a total of what is shared, which is X. So we have 4x over 20. 4x over 20. That is the value of Q, the share of Q. So we have the share of S, which is this. And we have the share of Q, which is this. And we have more information here that S received 600 more than Q. So this Q, can we replace it with this value? Since the value of Q, the share of Q is this. So we can substitute for Q using this value. and that is going to be our solution. That is going to help us out. We call this one equation 1, we call this one equation 2, we call this one equation 3. So these are the three equations we are going to make use of. The first one, we are told that S receives 600 more than Q, that is Q plus 600. S received this value again. That's the normal way of finding the share of a particular person. Then Q got this, normal way of finding the share of a particular person. So the value of share of Q is this, the value of share of S is this. So from equation 1, we are going to replace Q with this value here. So we now have S equals, instead of writing Q now, we are writing 4x over 20 plus 600. That is the value we are going to write for this Q. We're writing this one. Since Q is this, and we have Q here. So S is now equal to this. This will give us equation 4. Now, since in equation 2, we have S equals 7S over 20. And in equation 4, we have S equal to 4x over 20 plus 600. We are going to equate the two values of S here to be able to bring out the value of S we are looking for. We are looking for the value of X. So this X, to be able to solve for it, our S equals this and our S equals this. Let's equate the two values of S to find our X. So let's equate these two values, this one and this one. So we have 7x over 20 equals 4x over 20 plus 600. What do we do right now? Just multiply through to remove the denominator. This times 20 will be left, 7x will be left. Multiply this by 20 to give us 4x. Multiply this by 20, we are going to have 2 times 8, 2 times 6, that will be 12. Then 0, 0, 0. So let's bring this one this side. We have 7x minus 4x equals to. So we find the value of x here. We have 3x equals to this. Divide both sides by 3, we're going to have 4,000. That is the amount they shared. So you're right. Therefore, the amount the four of them shared was equal to 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira. Let's move to the next one. So we have this question on the board. A sum of money was shared among Victor, Faith, and Debbie in ratio 2, 1.5, ratio 2.5, respectively. If Faith received 10,000, what is the sum of the money received? Now, the major problem now is the ratio given to us. We're not giving a whole number, we are giving a mixed number. So what do we do about that? Is to convert this mixed number to whole number. And how do we do that? We first change the mixed number to improper fraction, and we use the LCM to multiply through, thereby converting the mixed number to whole numbers. Now let's do that now. The first one is 2 ratio 2. This is 1.5. That will give us 3 over 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 over 2. Ratio 2 times 2, 4. 4 plus 1, 5 over 2. So when we multiply everything here by the LCM is 2, right? So 2 times 2 will give us 4. 2 times this one, this 2 will go. So we are going to have 3. Then this 2 will go, we are going to have 5. So this ratio is the same as this one. All we need to do is to multiply each of them by the LCM by 2. Then we have a whole number ratio as against a decimal or a mixed number ratio. Is that okay? Now at this point we find the total ratio. Total ratio is going to be what now? This is 8. 8 plus 4, that will be 12. Total ratio is going to be 12. So we are told that Faith received 10,000. So what is the sum of the money received? So what we do is to use the ratio of Faith, because we already know the value of ratio. We already know the value of Faith. Since we know the amount Faith received, we are going to make use of the ratio of Faith. Since we have known the amount got by Faith, we are going to use the ratio of Faith. And the ratio of Faith here is, Faith is mentioned as the second person, meaning the second ratio will be for Faith. So it's going to be 3 over 12 multiplied by the amount that was shared. Do we know it? We don't know it. So the amount will be X. Faith ratio over total ratio multiplied by amount shared will give us the total amount got by Faith. Faith got 10,000. So 3x will give us 3 times s, 3x over 12. Then we have 10,000 here. 3 goes in 3, 1. 3 goes in 12, that will be 4. If we cross multiply, we're going to have x equals to 40,000. That is the amount all of them shared. Therefore, the amount shared by these 3 people is equal to 40,000. It's always good to write your statement down. Therefore, the amount all of them receive equals 40,000 naira. Very important. Now let's move to the next one. The present ages of a father, number 15. The present ages of a father and his son are in ratio 10 to 3. And the ratio 10 to 3. If the son is 15 years old now, in how many years will the ratio of their ages be 2:1? So the father's name is mentioned first. That means the father will have 2, the son will have 1 as ratio. Now, we are told that the present ages of the father and the son are in the ratio this. So, father ratio 10, son ratio 3. And we are told that the age of the son right now is 15. So we write 15 here. Since the ratio of the son is 3, then the age of the son will be here. Let x be the age of the father right now. Let x be the age of the father. Since the ratio of the father and the son ages is 10:3, and the son is 15 years old now, then how many years will be the dad now? This will be x. When we cross multiply, we're going to have 3x equals to this times this, it will give us 150, meaning the dad age now is 50 years. What else do we do? In how many years will the ratio of their ages be s? The number of years we don't know. Let the number of the years, let the number of the years equals y. Equals y. The number of the years, the father's age will be 2:1 of the son's age. The present age of the son is 15. So 15 plus y. Then present age of the dad is 50. So 50 plus y. Plus y stand for the number of years. The ratio of their age will be 2:1. So we write for the dad, for the son we write 1 here, and for the dad we write 2 years. Let's write the father's age first. The father's age now is 50. In that number of years, we don't know, it will be 50 plus y ratio or over. The son's age now is 15. In how many years, we don't know, so plus y equals to 2:1. 2:1 or 2/1. So let's cross multiply at this junction. This times this will give us the same value. The same value. So we write 50 plus y equals to 2 multiplied by 15 plus y. So 50 plus y equals to 2 times 15. That will be 30. 2 times y, that will be 2y. Then 50 is on this side. 30 is coming here minus 30. 2y is here. Y is coming here, become minus y. Then we have 20 equals to y. That means in 20 years' time, the ratio of the father's age to the son's age will be 2:1. So our answer is 20 and we are correct. Let's look at the last question as we round off this topic. We are looking at the last question. Find the ratio of their surface area. Surface areas. Hello? To solve the problem, what idea we are going to use to find the ratio of their surface areas? What idea are we going to use? We are going to use the idea of similar shapes because the two of them are the same object, two ball bearings. So since the two of them are two ball bearings, that suggests that the two ball bearings are similar shape because they are not, one is not ball, another one is another thing. Since the two of them are balls, abi, of the same type, two ball bearing, that means they are similar shape. And when we talk about similar shape, let's say it's a triangle, for example. Ball bearings should be a sphere, right? It's a sphere. But let's say they are triangle, for example. There is a height here, right? And there is we call this place height, we call this place base, right? It's not so. If they are similar shapes, corresponding angle will be equal. Hello? If this place is 3, okay, this side too will be 3, right? If this place is 1, this place will be 1. And if this is 2, this place will be 2. If two shapes are similar, the corresponding angles will be similar. The meaning of that now, if this one is 50, this one will be 50. Okay? If this one is 40, this one will be what? 40. If this one is 80, this one will be 80. Two things you need to know. Corresponding angles are equal if they are two similar shapes. And if they are two similar shapes again, corresponding size, we have the same ratio, right? The corresponding size, we have the same ratio. What do I mean by that? Meaning that h over h, okay? Then this one, b over what? B will give us the same value as maybe 2/3. Is that okay? For example, let's say our age is 10, right? Our age here is 15. The height here is what? 10. This one is what? 15. And let's say this one is 8. So this place is 12. Okay? Now, 4 years is 2. 4 years is what? So let's say these two shapes are similar. How do we know if they are similar? We find the ratio of their corresponding sides, right? This is 10 over what? Over 15. 5 here is 2. 5 here is 3. Then This one is for the height now. Then for the base, we say 8 over what? 12. 4 here is what? 2. 4 here is 3. See the corresponding size give us the same ratio. We say these two shapes are what? Are similar. Then what is the formula for finding similar shapes? To find the area, to find the volume, or to find the linear scale factor or the linear ratio. See the linear ratio now. This line and this line, this line and this line. See the linear ratio, right? So what I just do, if I'm finding volume, the cube, okay, of the linear ratio will give me the volume, okay? And if I'm finding area, the square of the linear ratio will give me what? The area. It's not so. All I just need to know, if I'm finding volume or if I'm finding area, just know the ratio of the corresponding sides. That's all you need. Okay? If they ask you to find the ratio of their surface areas, no problem. They say you find the ratio of their volumes, no problem. They say find the volume or find the area, no problem. All you need to know is what? Try to know the linear ratio. The linear what? Ratio. And if it is this volume that you know, if you know the volume of the two, that means you have also know the linear ratio. If you know the linear ratio, you have know the volume. If you know the area, the two areas of the triangle or the shape, you have know the linear ratio. So anyone you know will give you the other one. And the formula that collect linear and volume is this: L cube equals to volume, L squared equal to area, right? Why L stand for the linear ratio. Sometimes they use N to represent L. Okay, they use what? N. And sometimes they use Q. No, they use K. K makes sense because K is constant. Linear ratio is constant. Whether the ratio of the length of the height or of the base, it is constant. So they use K and they can use N. Okay, let's just use length, meaning linear ratio. The ratio of the length or the corresponding length. Is that okay? So we are giving volume here. We are giving volume, right? Let's apply the formula that we know. Since they're talking about ball bearings will be sphere, right? It will have radius, right? So we say the radius of the small one, right? The cube of it over the radius of the big one, the cube of it. Are we together? So we can just write it as L cube. As what? L cube equals to what now? What is this? 1.6 over what? 5.4. So what do we do to make it whole number? To make it whole number, we multiply by 10, right? That'll give us 16. That'll give us what? 54. So we transfer the cube to this side. It's not so. When we do that, we're going to have cube root here, right? There is no cube root of 16, right? And there is no cube root of 54. So what do? We reduce the lowest term. Okay? So 4 goes in 16. That will give us 4. Am I correct? But there is no cube root of 4. Let's divide it by 2 then. Okay? 16 divided by 2. 8, right? 54 divided by 2 will give us what? 27, right? So cube root of 8 is what? 2. And cube root of 27 is what? 3. So this is linear. The linear what now? Linear ratio. Hello? This is linear ratio. But they're not asking us for linear ratio. They're asking us for what? Ratio of their surface areas. And to know the surface areas ratio is very simple. the square of the linear ratio, right? So we say L squared is, we are going to square this one. This is our L, right? The formula for area is this. We already know our L to be 2/3. All we do is to square the 2/3. So we say 2/3 squared will give us the area. So what do we do now? 2 times 2 is what? 4, right? And 3 times 3 is what? 9. So this is the ratio of their surface areas, 4/9. So we've come to the end of this video. I want to believe you have a nice time watching the video. Have a nice time. We'll see you in the next topic.